What if I have a flying pen? And I'll just tell the pen, write GST 111. And the pen goes GST 111. It just is obeying all the whole commands I'm giving it. Sounds very, very stupid, right? Hi guys, welcome to True Unscripted. I still like to talk. So I introduced us the first time to this space where I want to just talk about business, innovation, ideas. So this is the first episode of the big idea. So here's the thing about ideas. Ideas usually come up when you identify a problem and then you're trying to find a solution to the problem you have identified. You understand? For example, you can be chilling with the guys or chilling with the girls, and then something just comes into you, and you're like, what if we have an app where we can order food? And I'm like, where did this come from? You say, oh, yesterday I was too tired. I didn't feel like going to the pastora shop. And then I was thinking, how I wish I had food to come and meet me in my house without doing anything. You can even say, I called my sister, I called my friend, and they were refusing to come and give me food in my house. And that thing was just annoying me. And all of a sudden, I had the idea now. You know, things like that. That's how they pop up. So we're going to look at an idea, a funny idea, and try to make sense out of it. So don't judge me. Please do not judge me. Back in my 100 level, or yeah, 100 level, I don't think I was in 200 then. If I was in 200, maybe my parents should go back and collect my school fees. So I had this idea, you know, I think I was it GST class? I don't know, was one of these classes, and I just got so tired of writing. I'm like, I'm just writing. I just got so angry. And in the whole anger of I don't want to write, I was like, what if I had a flying pen? What if I have a flying pen? And I'll just tell the pen, write GST 111. And the pen goes GST 111. It just is obeying all the whole commands I'm giving. Sounds very, very stupid, right? Okay, let's make sense of this idea because sometimes we kill our ideas because we say our ideas sound stupid. Our ideas are so incredulous. Our ideas require plenty money. Our ideas require, let us make sense out of it because there are several ideas for several reasons. This one sounds like it's stupid. And let's even say we're going to implement it. It sounds like it's crazy expensive. Yeah, for 100 level students especially. But yeah, let's see how we can make sense of this. So first of all, what you really want to do is you want to define your idea. So one of the best ways to define your ideas is from the angle of purpose. So we look at the purpose and then we say, what was the purpose of this idea that I had? I'm looking for how I can make a device or a pen, you know, make writing easier. So the purpose of this is to simplify writing, make it easy and on the go. Yeah. So to make it easy and make it on the go, that's the purpose of this idea. Now, after defining the idea, ask yourself who is the idea for? For the idea that I had, it was for students, back then. But if I do take it a step further and do a research, I would then find out that okay, I do a research, I might see possibly it might be between the ages 15 to 40. And why do I say between the ages 15 to 40? I would start realizing even people that go to work, executive assistants, project managers, and anyone that has several meetings that they attend to daily would possibly require a tool to take note for them. So go online. Online is your best friend. Go online, paste a quick message. Say, hi guys, I'm doing a research on people, I'm doing a research on people taking notes in meetings, or people keeping up their productivity in meetings? How do you take notes? How do you dish? Ask a couple of questions, keep it generic, because you don't want to also get biased answers. What were my biased answers? There's a way you would ask questions, and then I would want to help you out. For example, if you tell me, okay, I'm trying to get a pen that can fly, and you might not get the person to lose their focus and start telling you things that pens can't fly. Or okay, if you want to do is go to MIT, and now you're getting people to lose focus. So just ask generic questions, questions tied to the purpose of the idea that you have. So in getting information from these guys, also don't need to ask them their names. Just ask them, what do you do? What's your day to day like? How many meetings do you attend often? Or how many scenarios are you in where you have to take a note? Ask them a couple of all these questions. What devices do you use? Ask all these questions you need to ask. So two things done: purpose, two, target audience. Now you now want to start breaking it down into smaller chunks. Yeah. So go back and start checking patterns. You have probably asked them a question: how do you take notes and make it easy for you at the moment? You might see something like someone says, oh, I record on my phone, but going back to transcribe it is quite a hustle. You might see someone say, oh, I use a text to speech. You'll see different answers based on what people say. Like, I record, and after I record, I try to like transcribe it, or I try to type fast. All those different answers, you collate them together, and you start asking yourself, what are possible solutions to this based off on what these people are saying, and based off on the type of maybe devices that they use or scenarios that they find themselves. Now you start writing out different solutions. So at this point, we're doing what we're calling ideating. So you start writing out different solutions from the simplest to the hardest. So we're looking at the hardest as a flying pen, right? So the simplest will be recording. Yeah. So you have recording in one place. Okay, I record and I transcribe later. You might have typing. Just keep on writing them out one by one. In fact, to make it easier, write them out on a sticky note. It's always really very helpful if you do that. So you take one sticky note, and then you write out one idea per sticky note. So, for example, on your sticky notes, you write record audio. Second sticky note, you can write type on tablet. Write out as many ideas as possible. Write them out just as it comes to mind. Just keep writing. So at this point, you're doing what is like you're trying to rapidly come up with ideas. Write it out. It sounds stupid. Your flying pen already sounds very stupid. So write it out. As it comes to mind, write it out. And at this point, it makes more sense because you are matching it with the people that you have as your target audience, because a problem cannot exist without the person you're trying to solve it for. So if you're going to come up with ideas, match your ideas with your target audience. It should make sense. You should ask yourself at every point in time, this audience that I'm trying to solve this problem for, with this purpose that you have defined, can this audience see this idea and appreciate it? So but at the moment when you're coming up with those ideas, don't ask yourself that question. Forgive me, just write and be going right away. So as you write out all these plenty ideas, what you now do is you plot a graph. For example, this my crazy idea can come to life, and it's easier for the pen to do that because we have built